I think it'd be a big mistake. I was thinking, we've been going through the show, best quarterbacks in NFL history. And so Brady went to 10 Super Bowls. I'm just going to list guys from this era and furthermore. Big Ben went to 3 Super Bowls. Russell Wilson's been to 2. Mahomes has been to 2. Favre went to 2. Montana went to 4. Aikman went to 3. I guess, so Steve Young, as a starter, went to 1. Dan Marino went to 1. Drew Brees went to 1. Basically, all the other great quarterbacks, and even some mediocre-ish ones, like Eli went to a couple, went to multiple. If Aaron Rodgers, Wilds, does not get back to, forget winning, get back to another Super Bowl, it is going to be looked at as a historic underachievement. So every decision he makes should be, football-wise, centered around, how can I best get back there? Well, you're in the worst division in football, in the far inferior conference, where Tom Brady just retired, where the Cowboys are keeping Dak Prescott. The Rams are good. Get it. Other than that, who would be a team that would be on Green Bay's level, theoretically? The Niners are going to be starting essentially a rookie quarterback next year. Why would you leave? And now if it's, I hate it here. I hate the people I work with. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Right before the Packers flamed out because Rodgers couldn't muster 14 points, he was talking openly in one of his weekly 13 media availabilities about how he and Gutekunst have smoothed things over, about how things are better. If you stay, they can tag Devontae. I understand they have some other guys they're going to have to cut because of cap reasons. You can make it work. I just don't know why he would raise the degree of difficulty. You don't raise the game to all Madden when you're losing in the first round playing on All-Pro. You raise it to All Madden when you've mastered All-Pro. Rodgers playing on All-Pro and getting knocked out early. So I wouldn't go to the tougher conference. I wouldn't.
Yeah, well, I would. If I already bought land there, I'm like, oh, geez, I might as well play for the local team. Easy commute. Kind of backwards reporting there. You buy the land, and then you look like, hey, by the way, it's me, Aaron Rodgers. I bought a place a few miles down the road. Can I play for you? So, look, this report is barely hanging on by a thread, but I'll play ball. I think he should also stay, Broussard. If he wanted to go to the Titans, were Titans were number 1 seed in the AFC, and they had a bye, so it's not like that big of a leap. And I think Mike Vrabel will always put a good team on the field, and the defense got better by leaps and bounds. But overall, and if he left and won a championship, don't you think people would be like, I don't know. I mean, it's a good championship, don't get us wrong, but it's not Tom Brady's championship where he had to prove Belichick wrong. It's not Matthew Stafford's championship where he had to prove that he personally was a winner. It almost would feel, not that Matthew Stafford has won already, but you know what I mean. It almost feels like a bailout championship if he went to another team and won. If I see Aaron Rodgers hold up the Lombardi Trophy, I want to see it in a Green Bay Packers jersey. It just feels right. It feels like that's where his legacy needs to go.
Well, look, I've been with you guys. I've said on this show that I think his best move is to stay in Green Bay. So I'm with you on that. Wilds, where I depart from you, Nick's right. He just needs a Super Bowl. And yet, Nick even says Super Bowl appearance because that would be at least a little better, right? At least he got to 2. It hadn't been to 1 in a decade, but still, ultimately, he needs to win a championship.
He's got to win it.
And I don't care where it is, Wilds. He just needs a Super Bowl. In fact, if he goes somewhere else and wins a Super Bowl, I think people will start to say, well, it must have been something in Green Bay. Is Matt LaFleur really that good? So I think they'll point to that. And look, as I said, Green Bay is the best spot because of all the things Nick said. AFC is the tougher conference right now, certainly has the better quarterbacks. But you know what? I honestly am starting to feel like it don't matter. It doesn't matter where he plays next year because wherever it is, he is going to be under the microscope like never before. He is going to be scrutinized and criticized like never before. He may have the best regular season of his career. He may win a 3rd straight MVP after he gets this one. And everybody's just going to be saying, okay, what's he going to do in the playoffs? What's he going to do in the divisional round?
Correct.
What's he going to do in the championship round? Because he's not the same quarterback in the playoffs as he is in the regular season. So whether it's the AFC, Nick, or the NFC, because you're right, all those great young quarterbacks in the AFC. But look at this graphic of who has beaten Rodgers in the playoffs since he won the Super Bowl a decade ago. It hasn't been a bunch of great quarterbacks. Yes, the 1 year, Tom Brady, Russell Wilson, but Kaepernick twice, Jimmy G twice, Eli, Carson Palmer, Matt Ryan, who in the one great season he had. So he may get beat by Kyler Murray. He may get beat by Dak Prescott in the NFC.
Well,
so
he would've.
No matter where he goes, Nick, he's going to be under a serious microscope.
No, I mean, the game he played in this year's the one playoff game he played in, he could have gotten beaten, I can't believe I'll say this, in that game by Mac Jones. And he scored 10 points. I mean, he scored 10 points. You can lose to quite literally anybody. He lost to the other team, scored 0 offensive touchdowns. So this is why, to me, sports are so silly and simultaneously amazing. Because it is singular moments, singular games, in some ways singular throws that set you on a totally different path. Like you guys are making fun of me, but you're not wrong about how devastated I've been all week about Mahomes and the Chiefs. If Mahomes was awful in that second half, we all know it. But on that third down play with 40 seconds left, Kelsey's open. Mahomes sees him, almost pulls the trigger and doesn't. If he makes that play, nobody's talking about how bad he was up until that second half. He just made third straight Super Bowl, going for a dynasty after the Bills game. This is the greatest playoff run anyone's ever had. Instead, the margins are so thin. Instead, it's, Burrow, has overtaken him. He's got to refight, all this stuff. For Rodgers, Rodgers was awful in that game. If Rodgers just throws it to Alan Lazard after the blocked punt, Mason Crosby's kicking a field goal, they're moving on, and who knows how an NFC championship game in Green Bay looks as opposed to an NFC championship game for Matt Stafford in warm weather in LA. But he didn't make the play, and he's not going to the Super Bowl. And now the knock on him is, oh boy, doesn't get it done in the playoffs. Does he need to go somewhere else? And it is, the margins in those moments are so thin that he's going to win this MVP at NFL Awards in a few days, and it's almost going to be embarrassing. Like it's you know how people are it's gonna be, I think some people are gonna get the same feeling I felt seeing the Chiefs in the skills competition yesterday. Why are you there? Like you should, and so you should still be playing, and that's a problem, Wilds. Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.